Hello, it's Bryan here from thegreatgordino.com, taking another look at one of my quote images, and for this time around it's a bit of a three-pronged attack. The 3 R's are nice, but how about these 3 B's to go along with them? Be nice to others, be positive, and be yourself. Now, I took that picture down at Whitstable in Kent, which is where I go a lot to soak up the sunsets and the lovely summer evening air. And I think those words go nicely over the top. And if we think of the 3 R's, reading, writing and arithmetic, then we know that they are the basis of a solid education. That's how the theory goes. And it's a reasonable theory, isn't it? Because if you can read and if you can write, then you can better communicate to others and you can better understand what others are communicating to you. And if you understand maths, then you develop an analytical thinking, because mathematics underlies, I'm going to say everything, but pretty much everything. So yes, the 3 R's are a solid basis of education, because if someone understands all 3 of those, then they could be a lot worse off, let's be fair. But if we ask ourselves, are those 3 factors the only factors when it comes to thinking, then the answer moves more to no, because reading, writing and arithmetic are based on logic, analytical aspects, facts, but they don't deal so much with the emotional side of a person. They deal less with passions and joys and what makes us feel alive and the soul and our place in society, etc, etc, etc. And that's a criticism that's levelled at the 3 R's, because the criticism goes that because it's focused on the logic, analytical, factual side of things, it can create cookie cutter educated children that might be able to reel off their 12 times table but aren't able to express themselves emotionally. They aren't able to talk about and align themselves with their passions. They're not so good at analysing their place in society and how they connect with others. So it can be that we end up labelling children as either academic or non-academic, and those labels can have a huge impact for the rest of a child's life, because if they're labelled as non-academic, it can be easy to have them viewed as less in some way than the academic children. So they have less opportunities open to them. So that can have an impact for the rest of their lives. So I talk about the 3 B's to go alongside the 3 R's. And notice how I don't say to replace the 3 R's, because I'm a fan that children should be educated in the 3 R's, but these 3 B's should go alongside them. And here they are. Be nice to others. Now that sounds obvious, right? Be nice to others. Well, of course, you might say. Now, as it happens, most people are nice to others. It's pretty much the default setting. There's no reason why we shouldn't be nice to others. If we're nice to others, it sends out ripples that tends to be reflected back as others are nice to us. So that's a good thing, right? Well, of course it is. So then, why is it that not everyone is nice? And clearly, there are some people around who aren't nice to others. 2 main reasons, and it comes back to education, both education at school and education since school. Because a lot of people think that education stops when they leave school. They have no idea about this concept of self-education after they leave school. So sometimes people are not nice to others without even knowing it. They don't realise that the way they connect and the way they put themselves out and the way they treat others is viewed as not nice by society as a general. Some people genuinely don't know that they're not being nice. Some people do know it. They know full well that they're not being nice. They know full well that they could be nicer. And the reason they do it, again, comes down to education. It comes down to lack of respect for others, actually a lack of respect for themselves as well. A lack of understanding of their place in society, and this lack of understanding about the process of self-improvement, personal development, and the ability to change. So what's the second of those 3 B's that I like to think should go along with the 3 R's? And the second one is this one. Be positive. A lot of people, and I'm going to say too many people, view the world in a negative light. And I can understand why people do that. There's a lot of negative things that we could focus on. But we can just as easily focus on the positive things in life. Not to ignore the negative things in life, not to pretend that there aren't negative things in life, but to focus on the positive things in life. Because if we do that, then our thoughts dictate our words and our actions, and those actions dictate the results. So if we view things in a negative way, we have negative self-talk, negative actions, and that might lead to negative results. If we view the world in a positive way and ourselves in a positive way, then we think positively, we talk positively, we act positively, and by and large the results are going to be more positive. It really does send out ripples to the world, and there's brain science behind it as well. It's not just philosophical airy-fairy claptrap. The brain science is all to do with the neurological pathways that we set up in our brains, the internal models, and we tend to view the world in a way that verifies those internal models. And that's why we can develop a negative way of thinking, and we can also develop this positive way and change those internal models in our brain. Not necessarily something we can do quickly. We can't change everything quickly. We can't change all our results quickly, but we can make the decision that we're going to put in the work and take the time to steer ourselves away from this negative slant more towards the positive slant. And that ties in with the third of those 3 B's, and that's be yourself. Be yourself. As you view the world around you and your place in it, are you doing it from a central starting position of the actual real you? Because we all know what the actual real us is. You know deep down what the actual real you is. But as you interact with the world, are you starting from that position as your starting position, or are you pretending? Now, I've been guilty of this pretending in my life. Most people are. And we do it because we try and fit in with our friends, family, work colleagues, society in general, or because, you know, we think we have to, or because maybe we're afraid of being ridiculed, of being outcast if we don't conform, if we don't pretend to how we think we should be presenting ourselves. Maybe it's because we're afraid that if we do present ourselves from the position of the real actual us, it's going to present challenges and difficulties, and we might fail if we go down a path that is more in line with the real authentic us. But I'm going to say that if we're pretending, if we're not starting from that position of the real authentic us, we're doing a massive disservice. A disservice to ourselves and a disservice to everyone around us as it happens. And that ties in with being positive and being nice to others. So the 3 R's, reading, writing or arithmetic, they're great. But how about these 3 B's to go along with them? Be nice to others, be positive, and be yourself. So I hope you enjoyed that message. Did you enjoy that message? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below wherever you happen to be seeing this video. Pop over and see me at the blog, thegreatgordino.com. And while you're there, actually, you can get a couple of free video series that you can sign up to. First one is my 8-step goal achievement formula, which will help anyone who wants to make the decision to take action to live more in line with those 3 B's about being nice to others, being positive and being yourself. That 8-step goal achievement formula will definitely help. I've been using it for over 30 years now. The other free video series you can sign up for is about turning your passions into profits, because one of the reasons that people don't live more in line with their passion, along with the fear of failure, is the fear of the financial aspects. So my series about turning passions into profits can help with that as well. All over at the blog, thegreatgordino.com. Pop over and see me at Facebook. Facebook.com/thegreatgordino is my personal profile. And while you're there, you'll see pages to my links as well. Links to my pages as well. Facebook.com/thegreatgordino newsletter. So, it's Gordon Bryan signing off for now. Enjoying and recommending those 3 R's, but also enjoying and recommending those 3 B's to go alongside with them. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon.